Hello and welcome. I have in front of me one of my favourite motorhome brands. It is a comparatively small Italian brand, but been on the go for a very long time. Wingamm Oasi 610M, a 6 metre long Fiat Ducato, in fact just over 6 metres, motorhome. There'll be more information in the description. It is on a monocoque base. It's got this sort of wonderful shape to it, and being a monocoque vehicle, which means it's single shell, it's produced on a mould. So the shell at the front here has been well, this is the stuck onto, if you like, onto the front part, the semi-integrated part, the Fiat Ducato, and you can't tell where it's been actually put onto it. It's really well built. Anyway, so let's have a look inside. This vehicle will sleep 4 people. It's quite high, as you can see, and it comes with a very large lounge. So this is how the Wingamm distinguishes itself. Also, it's got obviously the 2 seats upstairs in front, which make part, and I've got to say also the integration of the cabin with the rest of the vehicle as well. I wouldn't say quite, it doesn't look as though it's a vehicle, but it hides this. I mean, some really large vehicles like Maurer, for example, you can see how the integration is such that you can scarcely tell that it's a vehicle, and that would be an exaggeration here, but it certainly looks very, very good. Okay, so here we've got a kitchen, which I think for a vehicle of this size is a big kitchen, right? 2 burners there. We've got this really large sink. Look at the size of that. We have got down here this fridge and storage, of course, as you'd expect, under the sink. And another thing I'm going to have to point out here is look at it may seem the minor thing, there's proper sides on the drawers, which many brands do not offer. Right, so coming to the back, we've got also the molded rounded shape, another distinguishing feature, which as far as I'm aware no one else is actually doing, which having said that, I'm going to have to say one thing which I don't agree with at all, is not having anything here. Put some covers on or something like that, put something in there, you know, when the vehicle is in motion, it's going to fall out. And I know that because mine, it happens to mine all the time. They could also have done here with a bigger ledge, or I'd have put, personally if I owned this, I'd put in a net in there to stop things falling down, because that's the sort of place where you keep clothing. Down here we have access to the garage, which isn't particularly large. Bear in mind that how much of the vehicle has been taken up with the inside bit rather than the external bit. Also, when there's a side bed, there really isn't the room for much space in the garage. Okay, for a vehicle of this size, it has got, I think I'm going to have to say this is the best washroom I know of. Just don't like the size of that sink, drainage down in the sink, but the sink size, you know, it's got a really big sink. And obviously in motorhomes you've got to go for small things as much as possible. Here you see the size doesn't even make any difference. It's no problem. Molded shower tray. I hope this doesn't sound like an advertisement. Well, I have said 1 or 2 things I don't like. I know that most people who do these videos are just effectively doing advertisements for the manufacturers, whereas I'm possibly the most critical person doing it. Maybe it could be a bit higher, this, actually, when I think about it. Maybe that's for me, of course. And we've also got wardrobe here, which is enormous, and below the wardrobe there are also drawers with proper sides, as there are under this bed as well. Now the bed will drop down as we're at a trade fair and it's about to open. I won't be dropping down the bed, but even with the bed dropped down, and I'm going to demonstrate actually, because we can see where it drops down to. It's roughly here. So okay, there's going to be a bit of a squash if I sit down here. I'm sitting down and turn the thing around. Yeah, I'm slouching a bit, but all the same, I could perhaps continue drinking at the table. I say perhaps. But this has been achieved because of the height of the vehicle. Now, anyway, I've come out now. We've got you've got the control panel, your heating there. In the door, there's an integrated fly screen. Access to the garage. Window in the door. There's a bin in the door, a big bin at that. We've got access to the garage from here as well, and also has this other feature at the very back that this will open the garage down like that. It does that in other vehicles as well, which I think is a curious feature. Rear reversing light, because with a vehicle like this you wouldn't want it to hit something. So I really do hope that doesn't sound like an advertisement. And if you think it does, then I do suggest you have a look at a couple more of my videos on other brands where I'm a little bit more critical of what they are offering. So I do think my obligation is to say what's good and what's bad. Okay, but the problem here, of course, is the cost, 125,000 euros, and that's a huge amount of cash. The cost is to a certain extent, of course, is the shape of the body, the monocoque design, and that was the owner of the company walking in just then. The monocoque design that is really expensive to actually do, and clearly the fact that these things are highly labor intensive. But anyway, thanks for watching. All the best from me in Stuttgart, Germany.